So hello everyone, we are here came up in the last stage of the discussion of the BPSC's prelims examination, and in this part I am going to discuss the subject that is from the economy as well as the current events. So these parts are considered to be the very tricky and tough for the lot of aspirants, but I would like to give you the easy and simplest discussion or that explanation regarding the answers of the questions which been asked in the recent BPSC exam. So in the economy questions, we can see the 15 questions. That means the very meager share of the questions in total 150 questions out of. So the first question, that is number 111. We are discussing with the set A of the BPSC exam. Question number 111, that means 111. The statement we need to be very careful about while attempting the answers or question. It reads that which statement is not true. This is very important. Not true about the poverty estimates based on the 68th round of the NSSO. The NSSO, the central agency under the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, and we can easily eliminate through the process of elimination. Here we can see that two statements, both are the stark or contrasting data. We can see that 21% of population of India was living below the poverty line. That is one, and the option D is the 33.35% population of India was living below the poverty line. So as per the Tendulkar committee's report and their methodology to estimate the poverty, so India is around having at 21.9. That means about more than just 1/5 of the population residing, or they are the population below the poverty line. So answer will be the D. That means which is not correct as per the demand of the question. So answer will be the D for Delhi. So next question, that is 112. Which of the following partly defines the micro enterprises in India? Again, it is one of the factual, but we need to memorize some of the components of the MSME sector. Those are very much crucial for our economy in the country. So that again, obvious question can be that can be expected here. So BPSC asked the question that if we look the statement A, that is investment in the plant and machinery equipment not more than 1 crore. So it's a correct. But again, another contrasting statement we can see in the statement C, that investment in the plant and machinery not more than 1.5 crore. So it's a incorrect statement. And annual turnover not, again if we get back to the B, annual turnover not more than 15 crore, again it is not a true statement. So that should be the less than 5 crore. It is the capping, it is the limit when any micro enterprises in India can be defined. So again we can rule out the next option D as well. So answer will be here. The correct answer only here we can see is the option A for, that is Amravati. So next question 113. Which of the following is incorrect regarding the Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana? So it's very much in the news, but here question is the incorrect. Again we need to be careful. So Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana, one of the flagship scheme of the central government, and to not only to better to provide or for the increment of the remuneration for our farmers community, as well as for the lot of things which is under this PM KSY scheme. So components basically they are actually now in the recent version of this scheme, they are more or less focusing on the water conservation methods. So we can see that option A, which deals with the statement of the option A, is repairing and renovate water bodies. So obviously it is one of the component, so it's a correct. And the construction of well, again it's one of the another form of conserving water. And option C is the enhancement of the recharging of the aquifers. Again, if aquifers, that means that if groundwaters will be, the water table will rises, obviously the water availability will be the high. So option A, B, C are the three statements. Those are correct and as per the components of the PMKSY. But here the another statement is the construction of rainwater harvesting structure. Again, the D is something which is correct. So these four statements are more or less similar to each other. They are focusing for the water conservation and ability to ensure the availability of the water. So option E will be the answer. That means none of the above will be the incorrect. So 113 answer will be the E. The next 114, Bhandari committee is related to. So it's a one of the very important committee in our banking for the banking sector reforms. In the year 1994, this committee, 1994, this committee led forward a report in which the committee had of the view that with the recommendations that our RRBs, means regional rural banks, their autonomy, their decision making, that domain should be enhanced so that they can perform well and their business will be enhanced particularly. So it is all about the regional rural bank restructuring, Bhandari committee in 1994 report. Okay, so answer will be the D. The next 115, choose the correct statement related to the national pension scheme. So national pension scheme, again in the news. So it's the economy is something not isolated from the current events, so that this scheme is very much in the news, so that BPSC also interested in this particular scheme. So if we see the statement A, the NPS is regulated by the Pension Fund Regulatory and Development Authority, it's absolutely correct. The central authority which is the nodal agency to regulate the national pension scheme. The statement B, the NPS is a retirement benefit scheme introduced by the GOI, Government of India, to facilitate a regular income to all the citizens of India. Again, it can be considered as a true. The NPS is regulated by the IRD. No, IRD is the Insurance Regulatory Development Authority of the that is. So it's has a responsibility to the domain of insurance, not the national pension scheme. So it's a wrong statement. Now option D, NPS is regulated by the SEBI. Again, we know that SEBI is the Security Exchange Board of India, and it's nothing to do with the NPS regulation, but it has a responsibility with the domain of security exchanges or share market. So answer will be the E, that is the correct statement is not only one but the two, that is more than one of the above. So next question 116, I mean 116. Which of the following is not, again here we need to be very attentive while solving these questions, that 116, which of the following is not included. So again the not included in the priority of the Indian budget 2022-23. So Indian budget is question from the budget of this year. The first is PM Gati Shakti, that is about the logistic sectors need to be enhanced, that is need to be developed well. So PM Gati Shakti scheme is for the flawless supply chain of the logistics. And the second statement here is that inclusive development, that means 1 minute. The inclusive development is one of the section that this is one of the priority part of the Indian budget, that budget of the year, this financial year. So inclusive development is one of the component that is included, the one of the 4 pillar of the this budget 2022-23. Productivity of enhancement of the investment, obviously climate action, energy transition this is one of the India's major focus area right now. And India is in the path of curbing the climate actions issues, climate change issues. Now option D is here in disinvestment. So we have seen till so far that 3 components, 3 pillars of the Indian budget 2022-23 pillars, but the 4th section, that is the 4th statement, the disinvestment, this is wrong, because the answer is that the priorities of the present year budget is that investment or investing, that finance financing of the investment. This is one of the fourth pillar, not the disinvestment. So it is the D is the incorrect. So it is not included in the priority sector. So answer will be D. Here we can see the E, but the answer is a D. So 116's correct answer will be the D for Delhi. Okay. So moving ahead. What 117, what was the tax GDP ratio in the financial year 21-22 in the India? So it is obviously it's a absolute fact question, but here what is in, we also need to understand that tax GDP ratio is something that the revenue tax collection is raised, or that is increased with the increase in the GDP. So both, if the tax is the collection of tax, if that is increasing, that is because of the betterment in the GDP. So it's direct relation, though both are the proportional to the GDP. Though we that phenomena is known as in the economy is the tax buoyancy. Tax buoyancy. So this is one of the concept in the economy. And here if we go through the demand of the question, then answer will be the 117%. So that is increased so far. So it's a good sign for our economy, and we can assess, we can conclude that Indian economy is performing well. So next question here is 118. What was India's share in the world export by the commodity division and groups in the year 2018? So it's a crude fact. So obviously the answer is A, 1.7%, but here is one of the cause of concern, or we can say the concern for India may be the, but our global import is 2.6%. so it is need to be, I think, memorized well, so that we can compare our export and import affairs of the country. So our export is less than our import. So it what we can conclude additionally here. And the next question is question number 119 of the set A, that is, what was the total production of the wheat in India as per the fourth advanced estimates in the year 2021? So it's a crude fact again. So answer will be the A, 109.5 million tons. But recent year, if we had surveyed some of the facts and some of the reports as per the our authorities, those are responsible for the gauging and monitoring the production, agricultural production in India. Our production of the wheat has somehow that gone down or declining. So it is something we may in the future have to depend upon some other external production. So we may we need to maybe say in future importing of that wheat. So this is one of the thing in the current events. The answer will be the A. The next 120, choose the correct statements regarding the Vibrant Village program. It's one of the focus area of the central government, and that is with the tandem with the BRO as well as the Ministry of Defense is also involved here. That our bordering villages on the northern borders, generally we have seen that our northern borders are nowadays so much in the news, that is conflicting, that issues are arising, so that we are of the view, means Government of India of the view that development of border villages is very much important for our more and more secured borders. So answer with a D for Delhi. 1-1. Next, choose the incorrect statement. Again, the statement and the question of the demand is to find out the incorrect statement as per the economic survey of the Bihar 2021-22. As we know that in the BPSC exam, the questions from the economic survey of the Bihar are very much certain that the some 2 or 3 or questions are generally comes. So again this year again BPSC asked from the economic survey of the Bihar. The incorrect statement, if we see, then the primary sectors in Bihar had grown at 2.3%. That is correct. The secondary sector, that is, attained the 4.8% growth trajectory, and the tertiary sector in Bihar had grown at the highest rate of 8.5%. These 3 statements are the correct, but the primary sector had grown at the 2.8%. This is something contrasting with the contradicting with the statement A and D. So D is wrong. So answer will be the D. But here, if we apart from that, we can see that Agri and Allied separately shown the growth rate of 2.1% as per the economic survey of Bihar. But this agri and allied not only comprises the primary sector, but in the primary sectors the addition of mining or quarrying activities are also there. So that's why in color the growth of the primary sector achieved the 2.3%. The next, the 122, that is choose the correct order of the following district of Bihar as per the ascending level of urbanization. So we can easily eliminate here that how if we see that in the Bihar we can take the help of the geography, that Bihar is more or less the rural populations or rural settlements are there. The major center of growth or major urbanizing centers are the that is the pole areas of the Patna, as well as in the southern part Bodh Gaya and some part of the Darbhanga and Muzaffarpur. So Patna is the city or the area which with the highest urbanization, the district of Patna, and the about 44% area or 44% zone are the urbanized completely, and though we can conclude that how the answer will be the A. So here again the Patna, but the Munger is one of the second, both Nalanda and Munger with the urbanization of about 28%. I mean that is less than 30% if we can if we need to remember that way, and Nalanda is about less than 28, that is about 26%. So these are the area under the urbanization. However, Patna is the highest among the all districts of the Bihar. So correct answer will be the A. And next, the next question from the economy, that is 1 to 3. The fiscal deficit is expected to be the that is how much of the GSDP, I mean gross state domestic production of the Bihar for the financial year 22-23. So that is something a crude fact. Answer will be the B. But fiscal deficit is a concept we need to understand here, that fiscal deficit, that actually the whatever the expenditure we have expected or we are going to for the next financial year, and how much of the treasury is filled with to meet that expenditure, that means our revenue collection. So if there is any gap, so budget or any scheme or plan cannot be executed, so that we need to borrow the externally from any financial agencies, whether it is national or international. So that is the deficit to meet the expenditure in a view, in a light that our revenue collection is less than our expenditure which is expected in the next financial, I mean ongoing financial year. So that is 12.1%. Answer will be the B. 124, the choose the option which is not a part of the, again not a part of the Sat Nikshay Part 2 scheme of the Bihar. So I'd go with the elimination approach here, that Yuva Shakti progress of Bihar is a correct. A strong woman, capable woman, again it sounds similar, and irrigation of water to every fields, it's sounds similar, that Sat Nikshay Part 2, that how to improve the socioeconomic indicators of the Bihar. So these three are very much similar to or sounds to the that in the consonance with the Bihar development. But here D is the airways to everyone. Airways means that transport medium which is through the air, means aeroplane and airport. So airways to everyone is not one of the as so far the one of the pillar of the Sat Nikshay Part 2 scheme. So it's not a part of this. So answer will be the D. Now next question, or the one of the last question we can say is 1 to 5. Choose the correct order of the Bihar state district in the descending order of the per capita income. So it's about the per capita income. So it's so much of the facts need to be remembered here, but we have to attempt the question, because there is no such negative marking. That is one of the the positive side of the attempting the question, so that he has no loss no gain. So if even if it become wrong, so that is how that again the correct order here need to be identified, that is to be find out in a descending order. Descending order means in the decreasing order of the per capita income. So this is per capita income. We know that Bihar, the per capita income is one of the in the bottom in the entire states table, but among that district we need to be we need to, as per the question, we need to find out the which district is one of the lowest. So answer is A, but if we see that the COR is about here we can see that 19, we can now have the facts that 19,000 per capita income, so it's a very less, about 19,000. But if we try to find out the what is the highest per capita income district, so it's a Patna. Again, Patna, we can remember that in terms of urbanization as well as per capita income, because so much of the economic opportunities are there, so obviously Patna is in the upper hand, and it's about more than highest among the all district with the per capita income that in that terms. So this is all about the economy, and answer will be the A for the 1 to 5. So it is all about the economy. Now I would like to move to the next part, that is current events. Again, current events for many of the aspirants, they feel it's like something sometimes some questions come as out of the blue, but we can try here to simplify that how and why these questions had come. So we can having a various correlations and various predictions that can be also made while preparing for the current affairs. So here first question from the current events, that is, and one of the most important thing about BPSC is that about 30 questions from the current affairs. So it's one of the large or deciding or decisive section we can see. So we need to be very much focused about the current events and current affairs. The 31, which country's former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe was sorted during the election campaign in July 22. So Shinzo Abe is one of the towering figure, one of the statesmen known for the Quad initiative, as well as we particularly for the Indian, Shinzo Abe is not a something a strange face. We know very well how that cordial relations with our Prime Minister personally as well as the country. So Shinzo Abe is one of the prime figure for the Indian as well. So unfortunately assassinated in the Nara recently in the that July 2022. So one of the important fact about the Shinzo Abe is that he is one of the longest serving Prime Minister in the history of Japan. So answer 31 for is a B. Now next question is, the UN General Assembly has adopted in an India sponsored resolution on multilingualism. Which language is mentioned in that for the first time? So probably many of the aspirants may have landed in the doing wrong while attempting this question, but here we need to be very careful while segregating or picking the current events or current affairs content. So obviously Hindi was one of the one, but along with that Urdu and Bengali was the languages. Those are non-official languages, and at the same time they were the first time they got in the UN General Assemblies they adopted for the very first time. So 3 languages adopted in the one go. So we can see that all 3 languages are spoken in the India. So it's very important to know, and obviously the weightage of the question is so that BPSC interested in asking this question. So while preparing for the current affairs, we need to be very much focused whenever these kinds of affairs come in. So additional inputs is that Andorra presented the as we have seen that India co-sponsored this multilingual resolution, but the Andorra actually presented this resolution on the multilingualism. So this is what we need to keep in mind. The next question, 33, who presided an emergency session of the General Assembly to discuss Russia's military operations in the Ukraine? So again our neighboring country, that is Maldives, and the Abdullah Sahid, who is presently also a foreign external minister of the that Maldives island country. And in the history of Maldives, he was the first politician to chair the presidencyship in the United Nations General Assembly. So answer will be the A. The next is a 34 question. The India evacuated people as a part of which mission to bring Indians from war hit Ukraine in February 2020. This news has been the flashing point for the various days, and I hope everybody do justice with this question. So answer is a D, Operation Ganga. 35. The recently China has claimed right over territories around the Sakting Wildlife Sanctuary, claiming it as the disputed region the wildlife sanctuary is located in. So again, this is question asked in perspective of that border issues, but again the question also involved involvement of that ecology and ecosystem perspective as well. So both are there, and the answer is B, Bhutan, because recently India's organization, border road organization, also that interested with the responsibility to construct the roads, the all-weather roads that to connect the Tawang area of the Arunachal Pradesh, one of the Buddhist monastery there, famous Buddhist monastery, and with the Bhutan. So, but Chinese agencies had morphed or cropped the map in a way that they shown or they tried to display this area, that Sakting Wildlife Sanctuary, within their territory. So this become one of the disputing point recently. So answer will be the B, 35. 36. Which Indian state or UT has been chosen to the host G20 summit in the 2023? So it has been again the news recently and for the very much time that remain. The initially India interested or wishing to showcase the cultural diversity of the country, so that they choose or they tried to choose the JNK as well as some of the northeastern states like Shillong or Guwahati. But as our neighbor, one of the neighbor, objected that move of the India to choosing to host the coming G20 summit, which is India is going to host. So later on, Ministry of External Affairs came up with a statement that India is going to host the G20 summit in 2023, that is going to take place in the September 9 and 10 of the 2023 next year in the Delhi in the Pragati Maidan Convention Center. So that is one of the important summit or important occasion that is going to be happen in the India. So again, lot of the questions can come up from that part as well. So we need to remain focused in these developments of the G20 summit in India. 37. With reference to the UN peacekeeping operations, consider the following statements. So it is one of the, I would say, the more than moderate or in the tough category question, what I felt personally. So what are the here? Okay, it's all right that statement are given 5, 6, 7, but it's a 1, 2, 3. We are very much having using common sense. We can change it, not 5, 6, 7, but 1, 2, 3. Please do correct that. Here, the first statement is, statement 1 is, the UN peacekeepers can use force only. This is one of the absolute statement for their self-defense. Whenever these kind of questions come, please, we can have that sense that only is something extreme statement. So we need to check twice or thrice before come into the conclusion. So it's not that only for their self-defense, but that this statement is not only, but the as well as the mandate, while whenever the mandate is to be executed, that is to be implemented, even then in the two conditions there, that UN peacekeepers can use the force for the self-defense as well as to implement the mandate. So these are the two conditions to that enable or that empowers UN peacekeeping forces to use their forces. So one statement is incorrect. The statement 2, the peacekeeping operations can only be withdrawn by the resolution by the United Security Council. So it's a correct. Here again only, but it's a statement that is very much correct. So how we need to understand that while whenever the engagement, rule of engagement, I have well written here, the rule of engagement. Whenever if the UN peacekeeping mission is to be that is to be deployed there, then the one is requirement of that UN Security Council's consent, and the second is the two conflicting parties. So that is in the time of that approval to deploy the UN security forces, peacekeeping forces. But at the time of withdrawal, no need for the two parties, and that is the sole responsibility, or only the solos, we can say the say of the United Security Council will be there. So we can see the example recently in the year 2019 when from the Darfur region, we can see that is in the Africa, Sudan. So that is one of the conflicting zone. The some of the agencies, some of the leaders from there trying to, or they're appealing the United Nations Security Council to withdraw the forces, because they approved but they cannot have a say while withdrawing the forces. So it is only the United Security Council has the say. So 2 is correct. So 3 statement, US is the largest budget contributor. Yes, about 28% of the entire total budget of the peacekeeping missions are borne or bear by the, that is borne by the United States. Later on means second position China, and the third is followed by the Japan. So it is answer will be the B, that is 2 and 3. Next question. Which country has recently signed a free trade agreement with the United Arab Emirates? So this is something we have getting into this question, we have learned that we have acquainted, I hope we all have acquainted with the Arab that Abraham Accord, that that is some kind of diplomatic truce between the Islamic, Arabic as well as the that Abrahamic countries, that is Israel, so that we can see the smoothing or betterment of the relationship between Arab and the Israel, that is another country. So that this FTA is signed between the Israel and United Arab Emirates, but at the same time we also need to keep in the mind that India also inked that agreement of the comprehensive economic partnership agreement. So India in the way to in the process to negotiate the FTA. Maybe in the near future India will also in the club of a country for those having the free trade agreement regime with the United Arab Emirates. So that what need to be. So answer is the A. 39. Which country launched its first satellite Arctica M to monitor the climate of the Arctic? So we in the same time we also need to understand what are the countries of the Arctic Council. That is something you need to do at home. And but this here the answer is the C, Russia. So very important, the climate of Arctic. 40. Who has become the first player to do cross 3000 in the T20 International? The answer is the A, Virat Kohli, one of the run machine, or we very much know as the chase master. So he's one of the highest run getter in the T20 format. But the Babar Azam is a Pakistani batter who having that distinction of that faster 3000 run. 41. What is the name of campaign launched to ensure complete COVID-19 vaccinations in June 2022? So its answer is a Har Ghar Dastak campaign 2.0. So in order to ensure to reaching the unreached, so particularly vulnerable population, that is old age homes, prisoners, bricklanes, those are the laborers, unorganized laborers, then schools and colleges. So these are the door-to-door campaign to vaccinate the people. Those are of this particular sphere, a particular domain, that is those are vulnerable. So it is all about the vaccination. 41 answer is a. 42. Who is the new Chief Minister of the Maharashtra after 30th June 2022? So this is something a news I would not like to discuss upon or delve into this deeper, because everybody know who is the new face of the new treasury of the state of Maharashtra. And 43. Who has started the Har Ghar Tiranga Abhiyan on the occasion of India's 75th 75th Independence Day. So this is what is important, that the Ministry of Culture was a nodal agency, or he got the responsibility to implement this particular scheme, but the launch by our Prime Minister in order to hoist that tricolor between the 13th, 14th and 15th of the August, and that is particularly to inculcate the sense of pride, sense of as well as the patriotism, as well as responsibility. So again, that is 43, answer will be the D, central government. 44, which state has become the first state in the country to initiate the process of implementing the center's new education policy? I would say it was one of the tricky question, because a lot of aspirants might have that landed with the Uttarakhand, but the correct answer is the Karnataka. Why? Because the Karnataka was the first state to initiate the implementation. But at the same time, the Madhya Pradesh was the first state to implement this NEP, National Education Policy 2020. And so that in that respective, in that context, answer will be the E, none of the above. 45, consider the following pairs of the governors and the Indian state. So it's a fact question. And here answer will be the Rajasthan, Kalraj Mishra, that is correct answer. Uttar Pradesh, Anandiben Patel, we all know, former Chief Minister of the Gujarat. West Bengal, Satyapal Malik, no, that is not correct. And fourth is Gujarat, Paghu Chauhan. We all know that Paghu Chauhan is the governor of the Bihar. So correct answer will be the A, 1 and 2. 46, which of the following ministries or organization has released Youth in India Report 2022? So correct answer is the C, Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. And what are the key findings of this particular report is that our youth population is on the path of decline. However, or in contrast, the elderly population is going to be, that is to be raised. That is at present we know that our elderly population is about 8.9% for the recent survey. That is, we can say the safely less than 9% elderly population out of total, but by the 2050 it will reach to the about 19 point some percent, or we can say the about 20%. So 1/5 of the population will be the older. So it's a obvious question. Recently World Population Prospects have launched, and they talked about these, as well as Youth in India report also, the document which also highlighting these important facts. So answer with the 46 is the C. Now 47, these are the name: Ella Venil, Valarivan, Shreya Agarwal, Ramita seen in the news are associated with which sports? So these are the sporting personalities. Those actually belong to the shooting sports. So answer will be the B. 48, recently who has been assigned the charge of Ministry of Minority Affairs? So we all know that charge of minority affairs in the central government was with the Mr. Naqvi. But the recently that the position or that is changed. So Smriti Irani is now assigned with heading the Ministry of Minority Affairs. So answer will be the A. 49, who was the candidate of the UPA in the 15th presidential election in India? So we all know the new president, country no got, but the contender from the UPA, that is United Progressive Alliance. So Yashwant Sinha ji, the former civil servant and former finance minister during the Atal Bihari Vajpayee regime, who hailed from the Hazaribagh, Jharkhand. So he was the candidate for the UPA, from the UPA. So 50th, who has received the International Booker Prize for her novel Tomb of Sand or Red Samadhi? So answer is Gitanjali Sri, is one of the prolific Hindi writer, and in the Tomb of Sand, Red Samadhi, he tried to delve into some of the critic part of the Premchand's novels. So in that particular novel, which is actually translated by the Daisy Rockwell from the Daisy Rockwell. So it got the Man Booker Prize, and awarded with the Man Booker Prize. So answer is the 50A. 51. Who has been awarded with the Dada Saheb Phalke Indian Television Award in 2022 from the Bihar? So we all know the Dada Saheb Phalke award, but that is for the lifetime achievement, which is very much important for us. So this time Asaf Parekh ji is to be conferred with this prestigious or award. But here answer is that none of the above, because awardees for the 2022 Dada Saheb Phalke Indian Television Award that received by the Sarad Malhotra, Anisha Hinduja, Avinash Rekhi, Jeshan Khan and Erika Fernandez. So answer is the A. 52. According to the Economic Survey of Bihar, again this question can be clubbed into the economic part. But Bihar 2021-22, who is the level? What is the level of urbanization in the state at the present? So answer is the 15.3. Earlier in the year 2011 census, the urbanization level of the Bihar was about just 11.3%. So it's increased to the 15.3 at the present level. So the answer is the C. 53. Who is the brand ambassador of Khadi in Bihar? So one of the celebrity from the Bhojpuri film industry and sports, the Manoj Tiwari ji. C, the answer. 54. In which district of Bihar the world tallest statue of Mother Sita will be constructed? So answer is a B, Sitamarhi. 55. Match list with the list 2. So list 1 and list 2. Governor of Bihar, these are the head of some domain or some agencies or organ of the government. So Governor of Bihar, obviously that is we can see the Governor of Bihar is Mr. Phagu Chauhan. Chief Justice of Bihar is Mr. Sanjay Karol. Chief Minister of Bihar, we all know, Nitish Kumar ji. Chief Electoral Officer of Bihar is H.R. Srinivasan. So what could be the correct is the answer C. We can see the A4, B3, C1 and D2. So answer will be the C. 56. The Operation Prahar in Bihar is related to the, obviously Bihar nowadays that has the distinction that Bihar is very much strict for the banning the liquors. So apart from Gujarat, it's Bihar is very much focusing the issue of domestic violence, and that can be achieved through banning the liquors. So answer will be the D. So to enforce this Operation Prahar, anti-liquor task force also established under the aegis of this Operation Prahar. 57. Ritik Anand from Bihar has won which medal for India at the 24th Summer Chief Badminton Olympics held in Brazil? So answer is A, gold medal. 58. At which place in Bihar, North India's first bird ringing station has been recently opened? So ringing, but this is a term we need to, I think it's need to be understood that bird ringing is the one of the process. It's a method that that collaring or that attaching the GPS bands, GPS enabled bands. These are the electronic devices, so that we can trace the migratory path of the birds. Those are arriving at any place of that any time of the year, and we can try some better ways to conserve their habitats, their lives as well. So recently in India, beside other states, Bihar in the northern India part, the first to establish the station or observatory station in the district of Bhagalpur. The A is the answer. 59. Which of the following in Bihar started the vultures conservation plan? So answer is the C, Valmiki Tiger Reserve. So very important. One of the tiger conserving national park, Valmiki Tiger Reserve, that is placed in the West Champaran bordering with the Nepal, and the focus area to save the vulture, that species name is the Himalayan griffon vulture. So it's again important. So here 59, the answer will be the C, Valmiki Tiger Reserve. 60. Sunandini program is related to it's a program, and it's all about the Anganwadi workers to be educated and skilled so that they can perform and give their best while performing their duties. So these we have discussed all about the BPSC's questions and the possible answer keys. However, no, although disclaimer should be come at the first, but here the BPSC, the Honorable BRP Public Service Commission, is the last resort, or we can say is the last, the final say of the any answer and what could be the correct is obviously depend upon the BPSC, and we here just tried our best so that we can help some way, so that that may be proved easier, or that may be proved that may be found good for the aspirant. So I hope the whatever the discussions we have tried to convey you, tried to give you, is very much helpful for you, and it's not only for the BR perspective, but for the coming exams, the preparation or trajectory of that preparation can be also aligned with these things and to focused. So here, and besides, I'd like to say that we will be happy to share our contents which are in the form of PDF to share with all you. For that, please comment on the if you really know, if you're looking for these explanation and discussions to be provided in the PDF form. So please show your desire or willing to know in the comment box. And with this, I would like to thank you all, and keep enjoying this preparation journey. So thank you for your time.